Gotta hit the like. Bam! This was the best Q&A ever! Before I say anything about that, can we please pray for Kirk Franklin's family? So apparently, through his own confession, he has a toxic relationship with his son, and him and his estranged son had a conversation on the phone. It got really heated, and Kirk Franklin had some choice words for his son. So we decided to have a Q&A discussion about dysfunctional families, about fathers and what they say to their children, about children and what they say to their fathers, about talking to your children out of frustration. And also, we talked about just Christians and cussing in general. I got the game changer. You know what I'm saying? That's how the thing look. I ain't gonna show y'all the back. Tyler Drip, you did? You know what I'm saying? It's that Tyler Drip on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Get you and your legacy right. You feel me? You watching Revolutionize the Culture TV. Hit the subscribe button and enjoy.
I mean, we can all grow and learn from each other and allow us to be able to have conversations that create change inside of our hearts and inside of our lives, and allow us to be able to navigate our relationships better. I ask our listener in the powerful name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
You said his mother.
Hey, no, old school people do think that things like darn is a cuss word. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, were there any cuss words that you had in your house growing up that ain't really cuss words?
Dang
was a cuss word too.
Yeah, because they feel like dang is just a replacement word for damn. You know, so it just to them it's the same thing. Like if you are using substitute words, they use it as the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to them it's like you're saying the same thing because in your heart they feel like in your heart you're really saying this, just outwardly you're saying the other word. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I wonder if that's what God was trying to say too. By that scripture we read last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying the word fool out loud, but what's going on in your heart?
That's what, if you look at what Jesus said, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, yo, if you know what I'm saying, do this in your heart, it's really the same thing. Like, you actually did it. Like, because the spirit realm is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it sounds like, don't be spooky and all this stuff. Listen, I know Hollywood has made they've made a mockery of the spirit realm. Let's be honest, right? So a lot of people, they don't like to believe in things, and some things are real when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, see it in movies. But it's like it's very real. It's more real than what we realize. See? Hey man,
nigga was a cuss word, ass was a cuss word. Aurelio, what's up? What's up? Elon's was good.
Wait, Aurelio's in the building too? I didn't even see Aurelio come in. Oh shoot, Aurelio, what's good?
One time,
Ronnie, what's good, bro?
Preached a message while holding his middle finger up the whole time. Like he did, and then eventually he got to both middle fingers, and he was just waving them. And he was like, "How does this make y'all feel? Does this make y'all feel?"
Are you serious?
Any type of way.
Hey, profane language is cultural.
It is.
That's
part
very,
of what we brought up last week.
Very much cultural. So. Liar is a cuss word. That was another one. That is right. Saying liar. Especially for children. Oh man, if you grow up in I would say 9 times out of 10, if you grew up in a Christian household, if you use the word liar, it's like, no, don't say that. Just say that they was telling a story.
Yeah, say you fibbing or something like that.
Like, or that you told a fib. It's like. Yeah. So when did words have an age limit to it? Like, when did God put an age limit on words?
There's no scripture I've ever read about an age limit on words.
Never. Let's not do that. Let's not oppress the people. Okay, let's not do that. And within culture, there are subcultures. Exactly. Oh, stupid is enough. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, stupid.
Lots is right. Stupid is definitely a cuss word in some houses. Don't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I know, like, I still, like, when we get back to the conversation that we was having last week though, about cuss words in general, and it's crazy because, somebody said, so I think depending on who you're talking to, different words mean different things.
Different things.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Harsh language, like, overall, I couldn't just breeze past it. Jesus used some harsh language. You know what I'm saying? He used some harsh language.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you probably talking about
He's been
my middle
married.
finger.
Yeah, he's been married for a little bit, a few years longer than me. I've been married going on 5 years this
Snacks,
year.
what up? What up? What
He's
up? What up, Snacks?
yeah.
Yeah, man. So, you know, dang, that kind of threw me off exactly on what I was saying.
Nah, you were just saying that. Talking about the conversation from last week.
Oh yeah.
Yep, bomb clock. My
Bummer
wife,
clock.
so that's Jamaican. That's Jamaican. I forgot
Yeah,
what
I
it
know.
stands for, but you know what I'm saying. My father-in-law, he's Jamaican, like pure Jamaican. So, yeah, I know. I don't know too much about Jamaican culture when it comes to language, but I do that word in particular. I do know, like that is definitely. Matter of fact, I just thought about it. Chris, you're Jamaican, right?
Oh, he's Jamaican.
Yeah, I think so. I think him and his whole family is Jamaican. I forgot about that.
In West Indian culture.
See, that's what happens when this is why it's important to be a student of the game. I'm just saying, because then you'll know.
See, I was saying that I seen Jesus use some really harsh language. Like he called the Pharisees a brood of vipers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's told them that
here's my question. I'm sure it's because of the time that I was born in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't understand, but what was so harsh about that? Like, what was it? Because I mean, I'm sure you got to know what that means or what that is, but like, I don't.
Well, calling somebody a brood of vipers, or telling people that they came from a brood of vipers.
Yeah.
I
think it's more profane to get rowdy and call your wife stupid out of anger versus saying something like, I have to go take a shit, which means you have to go poop. Oh, I'm with that. I absolutely agree with that. Like, I would never call my wife stupid, first of all. And if I ever did, y'all would probably never see me again. That's just, Jasmine don't play that. The wife, the queen, she don't play that.
So, like, that's
I'm saying, listen. Okay.
He was directly attacking their so-called descent. You know what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to be really related to Abraham, right? So he was attacking their descent, saying, "Nah, y'all from a brood of vipers." It's like saying, like, your family is a bunch of monkeys or something like that. You know, it's like
right. No,
it's
for
like,
real.
Your ancestors is bad. Then he tell them that their daddy was the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I saw some moments of like some harsh language. So I do think is cultural on how we use language or some things that we say about each other. But I'm saying that to say this though.
See, I didn't even know that.
I think that sometimes, in Jesus' defense, I don't have to defend Jesus, but I think that sometimes you got to say some words that sound a little harsh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
do you like? I will take me for instance. There are times where, like for me, I'm starting to accept this about myself. I actually work. I think I'm more productive under pressure than when I'm not. Like versus when I'm comfortable. Because when I'm comfortable, I don't really operate like I got work to do, or you know what I'm saying. There's I got to produce fruit, or if biblically speaking, or I got to produce this money or whatever. You know what I'm saying, I got to produce this bag. Like if I'm not thinking with that mindset, you know what I'm saying, like then I'm comfortable. And when I'm comfortable, you know what I'm saying, now you got to get me out of my comfort zone. How are you gonna do that? You probably gonna have to speak to me a little harshly. You got to put a little pressure. And I don't think harsh language is anything more than just verbal pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna actually post that. I'm gonna use that as a post. To me, that's a bar.
That's a bar.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, and I think the thing is, people don't like verbal pressure. They don't like pressure at all. And don't get me wrong, I'm not really that appreciative of pressure. But you know what I'm saying? Me starting to understand myself a little bit better now. It's like, but I kind of need that, because otherwise you're comfortable. When you're comfortable, you're not productive. And when you're not productive, you're lazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's a whole thing to that. So I think that we gotta, he said, I think we can just filter our speech by asking ourselves, would Jesus say certain things? I'm with that. I preach to follow your conviction, you know what I'm saying? So and that's based off of Romans 14, like when it comes to the biblical side of that. You know what I'm saying? So Absolutely. You need to follow your conviction. So if you have a conviction to not say certain terms and things like that, then don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like just ride with it. Because there's a
Miss
whole
Rover
purpose
said,
for
"Good
that.
morning."
Mom, good morning. How you doing? So you know what I'm saying? It's a whole purpose for the convictions that we each have, and not all of us have the same conviction. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I will say
then
this too. I will say that you know what I'm saying. Like if let's say that you don't necessarily have a conviction for certain terminologies altogether, but you know what I'm saying. Like just have that respect for other people that may not find that to be okay or whatever, right? Because that's also part of following your convictions. Is in Romans 14, he says basically keep it between you and God. Like if you are basically if you're around other people that find that offensive, then don't do it, because at the end of the day we're called to live beyond ourselves. So don't do that in front of them. Just keep it between you and God.
yeah, like I don't like when people like. I ain't gonna say I don't like when people do it. I'm just speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cuss in front of my mama.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
you. Yeah.
And it got nothing to do with what she thinks about it. Even though I
Wait,
know what she.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
Question for you. If your mom was on the live right now, would you use certain words, or would you know what I'm saying?
I was the way I speak on live is the way that I was
Contextually.
speaking. Yeah,
Like,
with my mom. Yeah, only contextually. Yeah.
okay. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying. Because I mean, I
Yeah.
did last week, and it was nothing like from the perspective of I'm just saying it just to be saying it around my mom.
Yeah.
'Cause my
Yeah.
mom was on
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
but I
My
said,
mom
you know what I'm
wouldn't
saying,
trip
I
off
said a
that.
couple of words that may not have, I wouldn't just regularly say it, but you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
contextually speaking, on the live, I don't have a problem. So yeah,
Yeah, because I know my mom will understand the context. You know
flipping
what I'm saying?
temples, you
He
just
said, "I don't
don't
think
let
Jesus is going to."
it.
You niggas gonna learn today. That would be hilarious. Uh,
Hey, I don't know if you're open to this, but so now Instagram has where you can go live with up to 4 people. Well, yourself including is part of that 4. But if you're open to it, I'm open to it. I want to at least ask for Dave to get on the live if you got time, bro. I don't know if you got time, but if Jay's cool with it, just because I think that there's a dope conversation that could be had a little bit more on the live. But that's uh, you know. So yeah, Dave, if you want to hop on, bro, you can hop on. But if not, it's all good. I ain't tripping. I'll just extending the invite.
yeah, because you're definitely engaged. So yeah, I think so let's go ahead and hop into what we were talking about last night just a little bit.
Oh
Kirk
yeah.
Franklin,
Oh,
man.
Kirk Franklin. Listen, I'm about to say it like this. I don't know the full context of what happened and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and so much say that I approve or disagree. Bree said, but what are cuss words? That is a
That's a
very
good question.
interesting question.
That's a good question.
It's probably subjective. That I would say it's probably subjective, because you have some people that would say that cuss words are descriptive, like you just using them to describe how you feel or describe a situation or whatever. So I
Yeah.
don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I think cuss is like American context. There really is a such thing biblically as curse words, but curse words is different from what we consider cuss words for the most part. Like what Jesus was talking about in the scripture in Matthew, like that's a curse word, calling somebody rocker, calling somebody a fool like that, because you're trying to place that intention upon them. That's all witches do when they curse. They place intentions upon people by saying certain words about them, hoping that they become that. So
right,
that's why
like they're
fool,
speaking things over their
imbecile,
lives.
idiot, huh?
Yeah, they're speaking things over their lives.
Yeah. So that's a curse word. A cuss word is a little bit different. I think that's contextual. That's, depending on where you at and who you are and what you're saying. For some people, nigga is a cuss word for some people. It's not a cuss word for me. I don't use it in my music or when I'm live because I know it is for a lot of other people. But
right.
but I know that a lot of people do think it is. You said when I saw Kirk's story, I was like, man, r.t.c was way ahead of it. It was a couple days late. Because I wanted to wait for this Q&A to really hop into it.
Yeah.
But
I'll say, I'm not going to say that I agree or disagree. I'm just going to say that based off of how the recording sounds, you can hear Kirk say, okay. Then he goes into his rant. Now, the okay in which he said it sounded like, I've been trying, I've been patient, I've been praying. and let's be honest, we have limits. Like, I know people love to say, oh, you don't have no limits. You have no limits. You are limitless. That's not true. Now, when you are connected to God, you are limitless. But even with that, there's still certain things that we have a limit on. Why? Because we have biases, we have opinions, we have certain things that we got to deal with. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of anger, did he say some words and say some things that, you know, was probably acceptable or not acceptable? Subjective. Why am I saying subjective? I'm saying subjective because at the end of the day, what was his heart when he said that? You know what I'm saying? Like, was that just, I'm frustrated with you? And you know what I'm saying? Like, now we gotta deal with this. On top of that, his son is 33 or in his 30s. I don't know exactly, but he's in his 30s for sure. Right? So to me, that's different from when you're talking to a 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 8-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to me, it's a big difference between the two. And on top of that, his son was clearly off of the recording talking to him crazy. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think for the most part, almost everybody on this live is a parent. I don't think there's any one person on this live that's not a parent. If y'all could ever tell me that you ain't never went off on your child in a way that maybe you felt bad afterwards about, you know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't use cuss words, but you went off out of anger or frustration with that child because you feel like they were either disrespectful or, you know, it's like, oh, why you not listening to me? You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. Have you trying to tell me you never had one day, even if it's just one day, where you went off on your child out of frustration? Because I know I have, and not clearly not intently. Like, oh, I'm today I'm gonna go off on Mark. Today I'm gonna go off on Lennox. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not ill intent. It's just in that moment you like, man, like I done tried in this area. Like, yo, like why you?
Okay, so let me confess. I don't know if I've said it from the beginning of the day, but I have had a moment where I'm like, okay, I'm chilling right now. And if Cuz play with me, if he play with me right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I know when I be in a different space. When I start calling my son Cuz, I be like, Cuz, stop, like, just stop, like we ain't even a Christian household right now. Like, stop playing with me. Alana said I totally can relate to Kirk's frustration. So let me just say, but it's talking that way dysfunctional, normal. So let me say this.
Hold on. Alana is not allowed in this discussion. Alana is
no,
a therapist.
She gotta be.
And Alana is.
She gotta be.
I'm just kidding, Alana. I'm just kidding.
She gonna keep you on your toes.
Right.
So let me say this.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and then we can answer that question. Whatever.
All right. So let me say this first. Like my general spiel, because I'm gonna get straight to that question. My general spiel is like we should have never heard that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish we never heard it.
Absolutely.
I wish he would have never posted it. So that's like my general feel about that. Like I wish I wasn't even involved, but because I am, because we've heard it, I think first of all, like we should all be praying for Kirk's whole family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Because that's terrible. But I'll say this: I won't condemn Kirk. I don't think nobody should be condemned for that because of what you just said. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got their moments of frustration. But with that being said, they have a very unique, estranged relationship, which he expressed, you know what I'm saying, which is the reason why they talking to each other like that. So they have a dysfunctional relationship. He said it in his apology. He said, me and my son have a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So
he did admit that.
No. So definitely is not normal. It should not be normalized. You know what I'm saying? Especially among believers, but just period. You know what I'm saying? Like it should not be normalized. It's scriptures in the Proverbs about sons provoking their fathers to anger and why you shouldn't do that. But it's also scriptures in the Proverbs about
that you shouldn't parents shouldn't provoke their children.
Yeah, about like pushing their sons to the edge, and it specifically goes with father and son. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a reason behind that. She said, Albany said he did admit that they are going through therapy, so I believe it's not healthy, but he admit that they are getting help. Yeah, he did say that.
Right.
And it's funny. I saw a post from the son recently after where the son was out like, "Yo, TD Jakes was on the phone. How come you didn't play the part of TD Jakes talking?" Which is interesting because in Kirk's post, he was like, "Yo, the family therapist was on the phone and he didn't upload that." So I'm thinking to myself, well, if that's what you wanted people to see, also why you didn't upload it? You know, why you only
right? Because he's the one that posted the recording.
Yeah, so like, why would you say Kirk should have uploaded it?
See,
you posted that part.
See, I'm with my bro Chris. Like, I feel like he was trying to manipulate the situation. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that too, part of the reason why, and I understand it to a degree, but I still disagree with the popular heat that he's getting. But you know what I'm saying? Because he's kind of a huge public figure. You're going to get that kind of heat, especially the type of public figure that he is. He you know what I'm saying? Any type of mistake or fall that's publicized in any way, shape, or form, you're going to get heat for it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a believer and you're explicitly that, like, they're going to say that his son did this for a cap.
I mean, it's definitely for clout. It was for clout for sure. But see, here's the thing though. It was. I learned this from Miles Monroe that whatever you do when you become famous, whatever you do privately, you got to make sure it's able to be seen publicly. Even if you're not trying to make it public, just whatever you do privately has to be prepared for public consumption. Because once you're famous to a certain point, somebody's going to try to expose you. Like, somebody's going to try to expose you for something. And that's why, like we've been seeing pastors getting exposed, like, recently a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing it happen a lot. I mean, Kirk Franklin's not necessarily a pastor of a church. I consider him a pastor. He definitely has a pastor's heart for the stuff that he do. But it's almost like it's in the realm of we should have never heard that, but at the same time, when you are a teacher of the gospel, you know you get judged at a higher kind, and that's why James was like, everybody shouldn't be teachers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you get a higher accountability. So even though that came out, I think this is a lesson for Kirk to say, dang, I got caught talking, you know what I'm saying? In a way I should have never been talking. That's why when people say he shouldn't have apologized, I disagree with that. I mean,
do?
Yeah. He don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people are saying he don't have to. Okay, we don't have to do anything. But he was apologizing to his fans, to the people that support him. I could see if he was addressing critics. Like, I don't agree with people addressing critics. Like, if he would have hopped on there and been like, yo, for everybody saying that I should go to hell for cussing my son out, ain't you had a time where you was, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he would have did all that, then I would have been like, that's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do that because we just did that for him. But him doing that himself, it's like, I don't believe in people addressing critics. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's a waste of time when you got so many people that support you. But he apologized to his supporters. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, y'all saw me doing something that was inappropriate. And I think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because if he wouldn't have said nothing about it, even though I still probably will rock with him, it still gives off this, I don't have to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I think to your flock, if you a shepherd, that's why I say I think he got some pastor's heart. Because as a pastor, I would apologize. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely apologize to r.t.c if they caught me cussing somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like I don't have to.
Right. His supporters cuss.
Yeah. Right.
But well, see, that's why
but his supporters would have the right empathy.
Right. Because I do. Like, I don't care if you like I said, to me, hearing the piece of the recording that I did, I feel like it was like, okay, like it's like I said, it's like any other thing that you would say out of frustration or anger with your child. It's not a like language to me is it can be powerful. You know what I'm saying, and it is powerful. Either way that you use it, whether you use it for good or for evil. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you're trying to lift somebody up and encourage them, you know what I'm saying, to speak life over them, or whether you're trying to speak, ill intently over them. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it's powerful. I guess just like with where I am now in my life, I'm like, whether you say F you or damn, this was great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on how you use it. Like if you speaking ill intently with it, you know what I'm saying, then I'm against it. You know what I'm saying? And either way. But if you just kind of like what Dave said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I gotta go take a shit. Like I'm just using that to say I gotta go poop. Like it's the same thing. So you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't, to me, it I think people gotta learn how to get past just the generalization of, oh, you use the cuss word, and try to pay more attention to the heart and the context in which we're using words. Because I think it's way more dangerous to, like he said, call my wife stupid, you know what I'm saying, than it is for me to be like, oh, I gotta go take a shit. Like it's not the same. It's just not the same. So
right. And then I think in the context of, because Jasmine said I don't believe he needed to apologize. Taking accountability was enough. So I agree with that. Like I don't think he needed to, but
I understand what you're saying though too. Yeah, in that particular position, it's
you
like
go an extra mile. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah,
but it's because of his supporters, like you said. It's not for the critics. It's not for people that's outside of his community. It's for his community. Yeah. And I just real quick, let me sidebar this. Mm-hmm. I do wish a lot more pastors and leaders would take that accountability to that level and actually do what he did, right? Whether you apologize to the rest of the world, whatever. But you know what I'm saying, if you know that you were in the wrong, or if you feel like you were in the wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he was necessarily in the wrong, but you know what I mean? It's just but that's me coming from a parent, you know what I'm saying, a parent's point of view, right? And me knowing that I've going off on my kids out of frustration. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Yeah. So I think from what you know what I'm saying, that particular viewpoint of saying like, yo, like, but for his following, his church, his community, whatever you want to call it, that is.
Yeah. And then
yeah,
here's the other thing too, because I saw what Elon
just
said.
Realized all three of us are bald.
He said that cussing with threats is different. See, and that's the thing too. Like, well, right, we all acknowledged that at the beginning of this live that's dysfunctional for a family. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To talk to each other like that. And I think that's the thing. When you would admit it, like when he apologized the way he did, then that shows that, like, I agree with y'all that I shouldn't have talked to him that way, even though I know I'm human. He could have easily just said, I'm not perfect, y'all, and left it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because Kirk Franklin, actually, he says I'm not perfect probably more than a lot of Christian artists that I know. Like, he says it all the time.
He says it way more than anybody else. And I appreciate that, because
I appreciate that's why I love him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's so authentic with who he is.
He's very real. He's very real.
Yeah, very real with who he is as a person. But I think also being real doesn't give you the I guess the ability to slide past being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Being real does not replace being wrong. You can be real, that don't mean you ain't wrong sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So like what you said, that, you know what I'm saying, about us going off on our kids or whatever. You said that some days we do it and then we feel bad about it. If you feel bad, then that's because you understand that it was wrong. And if you don't apologize to your child, what are you teaching your child? You know what I'm saying? We talked about this when Alana was on the line, when we talked about codependency. Alana, she could testify with me. When and Shantae was on too when we talked about children, right? So like if you're gonna cuss out your child out of frustration, you should apologize to your child. You the parent. You know what I'm saying? You the one that's supposed to lead by example. It don't matter what they say or do to you. They came out of you. You didn't come out of them. So even though I forgive him for doing it, which he should be forgiven, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that what he did should be condemned at all. I just think it's dope for him to come out and be like, yo, I'll take the first step and I'll apologize to everybody.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm saying, for
I can
what I did.
appreciate him having that conviction and saying, you know what, like, you know what I'm saying? Because the other thing too is he had to be open to the idea of, dang, I was wrong. And you can hear it in his voice, like,
you can
dang,
hear
like
it.
I didn't,
You can
like
hear it.
I wasn't trying, I didn't go into that conversation with the intent to like, oh, I'm about to cuss him out. It was like, dang, I slipped up, I fell, and I fell again. Like, doggone it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how I feel when cause I do my very best to not respond to my children out of frustration, right? I do my very best, and when I fall in that area, it's like, man, like I know I'm trying not to make sure I do that ever again. Like, I'm trying to make sure I never do that again. Yeah. So it's like, I did it again. Like, dang, man, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how I want my wife or my children to see me. Or not even just to see me. I never want them to be on the other end of that. So the fact that they were on the other end of that, it's like,
Cause I feel like,
so,
even
you know
if my
I
son
appreciate that
is
so much.
super disrespectful to me, like, he should go through life knowing that I never returned the favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would hope, that I never returned the favor of what he'd been doing to me. Like, I never stooped to his level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for him to be able to get old one day and then say to himself, dang, man, my dad never gave me that same energy back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for that for my son. And when Kirks cussing out, it wasn't just cursing you out. Like Ronnie said, it was threats. He got real gangster. I was like, nah, this don't sound like I'm just mad because of what you just said. This sound like beef. Like, we in the hood. Like, it was real beef words. I'm like,
my wife said, my wife asked, did he apologize to his son or just to his fans?
So I don't know, honestly, if he apologized to his son.
I was gonna say he might be leaving the apology or the lack thereof between him and his son. Like, he might not be putting that out there
to me.
And I don't necessarily need to see that, because to me, like I said, even in the apology to his fans and supporters, or whatever you want to call them, it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, he has like this I don't want to say regret, but this remorse. You know what I'm saying? His voice, like, I really did mess up, and that's not. I don't think that's him on the daily. As far as like, I just don't care. I'm just gonna live however. Like, I think that's an area that he might struggle in from time to time, and that's an area that he's like, I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, his heart is, I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to be that man. I don't want to be that father.
And I think that's why he apologized, because he wanted to make people know, like, yo, that's not.
I do recognize my own fault.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At least he's not narcissistic. I'll say that. Like, he's not narcissistic. You could see it.
Yeah.
I want to just kind of point out something too. Dave D, he was like, if you he was like, I don't know many who don't cuss. Go home with your elders and ministers. They be wild on the low. And I'll say, I've seen some elderly, and people who are supposed to be ministers and everything, and you'll hear them, like, some of them, they don't care. They will use cuss words. I don't know if I've ever heard them necessarily use it with ill intent. I'm off the top of my head, I can't say I've heard any use it with ill intent, but have they used it like as if it was like a daily language for them outside the pulpit and things like that, or outside of maybe? Yeah, I've definitely heard some, use it. So, yeah, just yeah.
Let me see this. Jasmine said, I'd rather bop the ocean before I apologize to sinners because I sin. So, like, all right, I think, in context, like, Kirk's apology, you know what I'm saying, was to his fans, but in general, you know what I'm saying, like, because we all sinners and all sin, you know what I'm saying, but according to our faith, we're not sinners anymore. You know what I'm saying? But we all fall from time to time. But I just think that if there's no sincere feeling of remorse behind what we do, then it's hard to change. You know what I'm saying? And I think that That's why I apologize as much as possible, because I apologize as much as possible, even to my wife, to my kids. I apologize as much as possible because it makes me feel uncomfortable about what I did.
Wait. Question to Ronnie. Sorry, I'm scrolling but he said that's not fair though, because we don't know how the son has been. Would have been basically if Kirk recorded him. But my question is, what when you say that exactly, what do you mean? Are you saying like, what's not fair? That's my question. Is what exactly isn't fair? All right, go ahead. We should all just start cussing.
Now I was just saying that, as far as apologies are concerned, like with Jasmine's comment, I was saying like,
yeah,
the reason why apologies are important is because it makes you feel uncomfortable about what you did. When you don't apologize, you don't feel uncomfortable about it. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of live in it. You can kind of tell yourself what you want to about how you feel, because you never have to deal with the other person's emotions.
All right, so, but are we talking about from? Are you just talking about strictly things that are wrong?
When you do something wrong,
like that's like generally wrong, right? Not a just subjective wrong.
All wrong is subjective.
I don't know if all wrong is subjective. I don't know if I can.
Well, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. Let me take that back. I can't say all wrong is subjective.
Because, like, for instance, they could say that we wrong for doing this live and using cuss words contextually to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, contextually speaking, we're not. You know what I'm saying? Doing so. That's what I'm saying. Like certain
an
things.
Example of subjective
like
wrong
if you,
versus
like
general wrong.
Like murder clearly is wrong.
General
right?
Wrong.
So that's not subjective. That's just wrong. I don't care. Like I just heard this morning on my way to handle some business from my Uber driver that this kid was given not this morning, yesterday. This kid was given a Lambo by his dad, from his dad, right? And he ended up killing a young lady, killing a lady with the car. Now I don't know if it was by accident, like he hit her by accident, or if it was on purpose. I wasn't there. I don't know the whole story, but I do know that he ended up killing her. Right now, was he wrong for doing that? Regardless, yeah. But here's the part that was, to me, that was really wrong. His dad, like the boy, never went to jail because his dad was a millionaire.
Oh shoot.
That's the story that I've heard, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, how you don't go to jail for that? So you know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a subjective wrong, but then there's a general wrong, and so you know what I'm saying. You gotta. But for the general,
all right. So
wrong
give me
stuff,
an example.
I do agree.
An apology.
That I feel is an apology,
let's just use
is generally say like this is for real what's cause for an apology.
Well, let's just use Kirk for an example then, because that's the subject we were talking about, and specifically, Jasmine said that she wouldn't have apologized for that. So I think what Kirk did is not subjective. I think that's generally wrong.
It's just nigger pronounced incorrectly. People say it all the time. At one time, I do agree with Dave. He said, sorry, real quick. He said that these words probably won't even be cuss words in like 50 to 100 years. And then he used the word nigger, and nigger is just as the example. Like now, like generally speaking, your average black person does use the word nigger, like with like, you know what I'm saying, and not even illegitimately, just regular daily language. That's just what we call each other. So I do agree. Like any word that is considered a cuss word or profane language eventually will more than likely become, you know what I'm saying, just a regular, like it won't even be considered a cuss word anymore or a wrong terminology or language anymore. It'll just be like, oh, I mean, they just said damn, and just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Like nobody's gonna be offended by that in 50 to 100 years or whatever. Which I don't disagree with that. As far as Kirk, so is that really subjective, or I mean not subjective?
Well, what Kirk did to his son?
Yeah.
No, that's generally wrong. He
question. So because here's the thing, we don't know the whole context and why he said what he said, because clearly first and foremost, let's be honest. Whatever we speak, not even generally speaking, whatever we speak is from our heart. Like whether we try to make it sound like it's a joke or whatever, it's in there. So my thing is, how did it get in there? You know what I mean? Like, because we can't just keep it surface. This is not a surface topic. This is not a surface conversation. That situation is not surface. That's deep. That's a heart issue, right? So if that's the case, what happened for that to get in there? How did it get in there?
You saying like, what did his son do?
Yeah, did his son do anything? Because
I don't think that matters. I don't think that makes it wrong or right whether or not what his son did though. I agree.
No,
with
I'm
you
not
that
saying
his son must have did something.
But I'm saying, the reason why I'm going there is because because you saying that you're saying that it's not subjective. This is just a general wrong. But for me, it's like, okay, what happened for that to even get in your heart in the first place when it comes to your son? Like, because when I look at Kirk, I don't see a man who just abuses kids and just like is okay with it. I'm looking at a man that that looks like he loves his wife, he loves his kids, and this particular kid, he's having an issue with. There's a heart issue going on, and there's a family therapist involved for a reason. It ain't just, oh, you know what I'm saying? Now, was he wrong?
Are you saying that doesn't make it generally wrong?
That's what I'm trying to get to. Is like, is it more so subjective or is it general? Because so let me ask you. This is the question I was really trying to get to. Is it generally wrong to respond to your kids out of frustration?
Is it generally wrong to respond to your kids out of frustration? I mean,
regardless of what you say,
because I mean, out of frustration can go a long way. Is it generally wrong to? I want, because out of frustration is pretty broad.
No, I mean, but
kids out of frustration and just say, sit down.
No, but I'm saying, is it wrong? Is it wrong to respond out of frustration?
No.
So if that's the case, and it sounds like that's what he was responding from, was he necessarily wrong? Was this?
Yes, because that wasn't just out of frustration. So all right, so look, like I said, I can respond to my son out of frustration and just yell, sit down. I don't have to say, I'm gonna come kick your bitch ass and break your neck. That's different. That's not just frustration. That's threatening his life.
So we know he owned and watched booty talk violence. Right. Damn, he got slammed for that hard too. That was he got slammed. And that he wasn't even.
I never heard about him cheating on his wife. I just heard about the porn. To Dave's next comment.
I
don't think he ever cheated on his wife. But I know.
I think it was just porn. I think it was just porn. I mean, people do believe that getting into porn is cheating on your spouse, though. So
yeah, but I mean, it's
I don't know if that's general or subjective, because but we ain't got. But then, I mean, is it? I'm not saying that I do. I'm not saying nothing, but I mean, is it wrong if you're watching it with spouse? Is it cheating if you're watching it?
Though, I don't think he was watching it with his spouse at all.
No. I was just saying in general. But no, I just feel like if whether you say that or anything else, when you are, I mean, I guess the specifics do make a difference.
Yeah.
Specifics do make a difference.
I think that's what makes all the difference is the specifics of the intent. I don't think his intent at all was to. I think his intent during that. Well, like I said, you can't really call what somebody's intent was, right? Because I'm not in his heart, so I'm not even gonna try to say what I think his intent was. But I don't think that conversation was something that was prompted by the Holy Spirit. Like, I don't think that was you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's generally wrong. Like, so once again, like I said earlier, I don't think that being real is a replacement for being wrong. You know what I'm saying? He was
Right.
very real, and I respect him for. As a matter of fact, I'm
not talking about being real.
I wouldn't even say I'm not even doing the same thing. I would probably do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I get, like I said, I get close to it with my son, and he's 2. So imagine if he was 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So I won't ever condemn Kirk because I might do the same thing. But I think at the same time, we got to at least acknowledge that it's not okay to talk to your children that way.
So, okay. But that goes back to what I was saying as far as what happened for that to even get in his heart in the first place.
It doesn't matter though.
The first, because it does matter though. As far as him saying what he said, that does matter.
No,
I'm not talking about when it comes to the matter of so much being right or wrong, but I'm saying it does matter though.
What do you mean?
Because if it was never in his heart, he would have never said it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It does matter.
It matters for what though? It matters in the context of
just everything else. I'm not saying I'm not going to say that he wasn't wrong for that particular statement. I would feel bad if I said that to my son. Mm-hmm. I think any great father would feel bad for saying something like that to their son. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, what happened for that to get into his heart?
Oh yeah, he said that he'd been estranged from his son for years.
Yeah, so but what happened? Time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now this is not just frustration anymore. This is bitterness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is resentment. This is resentment. This is something. Now it's just far greater than just the seed of frustration. Frustration, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got an issue, but you know what I'm saying?
See, now you're saying what I was going to say. I think it's bigger than frustration. He said his relationship with his son is toxic.
Red table talk.
It's not coming from a general frustration. Oh, she basically said what you just said.
That's why I went to that dark place. That's why I went back to what I said about, you know what I'm saying, the what happened for that to get into his heart.
You said, I bet he's gonna do a red table. I hope he does not do a red table talk.
Yeah, I hope not.
I don't want to go that far into that business. Like I don't want to go
I don't
that deep into what they're going through.
Yeah, I don't think everything is for the cameras.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I don't think everything, like, regardless of how much of a public figure you are, how well respected you and your family may be, or your marriage and stuff, I don't think, just like I mean, I understand why they did it, but even Will and Jada, I don't think that was for the cameras. I don't think that. But I will say there's a silver lining in things like that, which is, I do think that when the truth comes out, it does free people. Does everybody take the freedom in that? No. But you know what I'm saying? Like she said it's awkward. This situation definitely should have been private. Oh yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So it's bittersweet when things like this come out. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take Romans 8 and 28, you know, now this is I'll say something like this is in a way freeing for Kirk though and his family, because now, you know what I'm saying, like, or for other people too, where it's like, I don't have to necessarily fear falling in front of people or people seeing my falls. Just like, for instance, I know it's very embarrassing if I was to run, you know what I'm saying, on the street, and there's just, you know, a bunch of people outside just doing whatever, and everybody sees me fall and I scrape my knee and I'm bleeding pretty bad. It's embarrassing to see that. Why? Because I fell, and I don't want to fall in front of people. You know what I'm saying? It shows that there's at least it can seem like maybe there's a weakness involved.
Yeah, it seems like a weakness.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different things. So it's like, and who wants to fall? Who wants to fall from tripping or falling or running or whatever? Like, who wants to do any of that, right? So, but at the end of the day, what it does help in a way, and that's why I said there's a silver lining, because things like this, now it makes me more okay with falling in front of people, because I know I'm not human. I know I got weaknesses. I know I'm not strong all the time and things like that. So if I fall, and you got people the critics who decide to, you fell, why you falling? So y'all don't follow. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna back up from that conversation. But to the people that love me and support me, listen. I do apologize. I was wrong. I shouldn't have did all that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like, and people like me and you, we gonna be like, hey, we still rock with Kirk.
We still rock with you.
Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you fail. Why you fuck? Nah, listen. Especially as a parent. Whew. If my falls
like
with
Lennox,
if my falls with my kids
condemn this man.
no.
Any
Especially if you're a
parent
parent. And all the greatest parents in the world, I can almost guarantee you they're not condemning him. Like, they're not gonna look at him and be like, oh, he did this. Now, do we acknowledge that it was wrong? Yeah. But do we condemn him for it? No.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between condemning
and if there's any parent that doesn't think that that's a possibility with your children, I would give you my son for a week and let you see. And he's only 2.
DP, are you still with me? Yes, sir. I'm still with him.
That's between him and his family. This apology was enough, and we need to leave it at that. But it does show in our homes that we probably need to make sure we heal any damage we have our family members. That's true, man.
Bro,
he said for years, and I wonder what could have caused the relationship to be estranged for years. You saw his daughter came out too. She took her dad's side, and she came out and was saying like, bro, like,
family ain't always. Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, hey, you know, Kirk called him poor too. He said,
yeah, that mess is funny.
He said, your poor ass. Oh, damn, cuz why my mama got on.
But I don't think it's
so. Hey, mom.
Mama official, what's going on? I just.
But that's really what he said.
No, it is. They didn't.
He called that dude poor.
Hey, man.
Busted. It was context, mama. All context.
Busted. Roddy. Look, Roddy is the little cousin that act all innocent in front of the auntie. Like, hey, auntie. I ain't saying nothing. It wasn't me. Jay was out here cussing. Yep, he sure was.
Jasmine said, there's some people I want to expose, but I feel like this. I know healing still needs to take place. Yeah, and I think
that's a fact.
That you should focus on the healing first. And why didn't the son just say, like, let's try to get better instead of saying, let me expose you?
She gonna get the belt, bro. She about to get the belt. You about to get a woman.
Ronnie left. Okay.
Hey man, this is hilarious, bro.
But yeah, man, like, and you know, this is a son from a previous marriage. You know what I'm saying? So it's not.
Yeah, that part I wasn't sure of, because I couldn't remember the whole storyline. But okay, so it is from
previous marriage.
Okay.
So I guess he been kind of estranged with the new family. For Kirk to call him poor made me feel like, okay, you ain't being financially supported by your dad. For some reason, you did something stupid that got you cut off from the inheritance and you mad. I was like, oh, dang. Cut off. You did something that got you cut off.
Yeah, my boy Chris is cold. He said, yeah, more content for the next album. Track 1 will be Prodigal Son. Hey, y'all cold. Y'all cold with my bro DeAndre, man. Nah, babe. Yeah, no, he said poor. He was like poor. Like, yo.
Like, man. To me, that's worse than saying broke. Not broke, but you poor.
You poor. Like, dang. I'm trying to figure out where to go from this. Yeah.
Well, I think here's the thing. All right, so we get this, right? That there's gonna be moments in our lives where this might happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would not make myself exempt from this. You know what I'm saying? There was moments in my life. I know it was that's how I felt. Right. It was the poor part that I kind of singled in on. I was like, oh dang, like that's really disrespectful.
Right. It wasn't. Oh man. Nah, that was the coldest line. That was. Hey, if Kirk was a battle rapper, I would say that was the coldest bar he put out, bro. Like, that was the coldest bar you could ever say to your son. Matter of fact, like URL Smack, King of the Night, whoever, I don't care. They should put out a battle rap between Kirk and his son. And I got Kirk 3-0 because he the OG. Kirk 3-0.
I think like ultimately, you know what I'm saying, we know that this could happen to either one of us. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't make myself exempt from it. But I think it's the same thing that we were saying last time, right? Like the scriptures that say be slow to speak, quick to listen. The scriptures.
we can't even move on. We can't even move on. Hey, somebody tell Twerk to what are y'all Saga? Somebody Loso. Y'all get Kirk and his son in a battle, man. You know what I'm saying?
No,
hey, John,
no, we don't want to see them battle.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm not serious, y'all. Y'all being so funny out here, man.
Dave's killing me.
I was just riding the wave. I was riding the wave, you know what I'm saying? I bet he had. Hey, man. Hey, Drake, you gonna have to get us through this, man, because I can't.
I'm trying to get deep again. Y'all funny.
Hey, your wife said these comments are fire.
I know. They don't help.
Oh my God!
All right, so look.
Okay,
we know that we're
serious.
not exempt from it. You know what I'm saying? And I think all of a sudden, my mom said,
your mama, hold on.
To say that his son pushed him to this moment. He was petty to record. Yeah, probably torn his bridges a long time ago. I'm still a Christian, but I cuss a lot. And I love you, mama. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Matter of fact, my mom, when we were younger, I would expose my mom real quick. When we were younger, she used to try to replace.
Don't get a whooping.
Don't get a whooping. Stuff like spit. She always say spit.
Oh my God.
Ma, I know what you're saying, Ma.
Oh my goodness. What's up, son?
You know what I'm saying? But
but
there's the thing though, right? But that's one reason why I love my mom. I know I probably pushed her limits before, but she ain't never threatened me that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
no,
I
get you. I'm with you.
I would understand, especially from a loving parent, I will understand that a lot would have to push you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of how I feel, right now, I can't speak from my mom's point of view or my dad's point of view, but based off of how I feel as a son, at times, not all the time, not every day, but at times, I'm kind of surprised my mom ain't cussed me out.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised I ain't get cussed out a couple of times. Not all my life, just a couple of times.
Yeah,
but
I've been
about
cussed
20 times.
But not like that. He went off on it.
Dave said nobody better at cussing than a mama, man. Like he said,
no,
cuss word cut different.
Grandmas just don't care about what nobody got to say about anything.
Right.
They don't care.
I feel Andy Mineo when he said, when I get older, I'm gonna say whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care about the consequences.
Yeah,
like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
you can be a grandma, you don't care no more.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, look, and I know my mom was on here. She about to agree with me. I hope I never talk to my son like that. She'll come after me if I ever cuss my son out like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. She that's because she's a great grandma. You know what I'm saying? She's great at being a grandma.
So you know what I'm saying? But I think overall, like the scriptures still say, like, be slow to speak, quick to listen, and try to speak life, not death. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever get put into a predicament like that, I'm just gonna speak from the perspective of a parent. If y'all ever get put into a predicament like that, all I'm saying is, if you see that there's a toxic relationship between you and your child, just do everything you can to try to heal it. And I'm not saying that as a shot at Kirk, because I think he is. He said that they are doing things to try to heal it. And all I'm saying is, let's commend them for doing the work. You know what I'm saying? This should have never got posted, but we should commend them for doing the work, because we can't act like it can't happen to either one of our households. It can happen to either. She said, bet not. You don't live with him, mama. You don't live with him.
That's what I be trying to say about Lennox, man. Y'all live with him, man. Y'all don't see it. Y'all don't see it. Dave said, mamas will turn into Bernie Mac
and then listen to
gospel
music to calm down.
Right.
I gotta get out of here, man.
They ain't gonna let us. They ain't gonna let us finish this, man.
I gotta go, man. Any last thing you want to say, man?
Nah, man. Listen, this was probably the greatest live we've ever done. I'm talking about between life training class and all, bro. This is the best. This is the most lit, engaged live we probably might. Well, I don't want to say ever will have, but this is up to this point.
Oh no, not ever will have. Because we're coming back next Tuesday with another one.
Yeah. But man, listen. I will say this, man. Y'all rocked with us for a good hour, man. I appreciate y'all, Dave. I ain't gonna lie, no shade, Dave, but I didn't think you was gonna rock with us for the whole hour. I thought Dave was gonna bounce out like I'm good. Y'all corny. I'm good. But nah, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sticking with us. Y'all sticking with r.t.c. There are different operations going on right now. So live training class Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Y'all rock with us. Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Y'all rock with us. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Friday mornings, 8 a.m. Y'all rocking. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say I appreciate every single one of y'all, whether you came on just the one time or you come on every week. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's all love. It's all love. I appreciate y'all.
For sure. So let's pray for his family real quick, man, before we hop off of here.
All right, bet.
All right. Father, thank you so much for allowing us to be able to have this moment. We shared some laughs and we shared some engaging conversation, but overall our hearts are heavy for the traumatic experience that Kirk and his son are both going through with their toxic relationship between each other. Father, I'm asking that even though stuff has been posted and that people are going to make fun, people are going to make jokes, I'm asking that you continue to give Kirk peace and you continue to give his son peace that comes from you. I'm asking that you somehow work your ways into their relationship, somehow that they become aware of the damage that they both done to each other and that they become closer to you and closer to each other in the end. I'm asking that all of us who have witnessed that we're able to heal the damage inside of our families before things get public. I ask all this in the powerful name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Because that's
R.I.P.
real,
Betty
man.
White. She ain't dead
Some
yet,
of us
but
are probably doing it, just ain't public. She ain't dead yet, but it's
I
coming.
can't deal with Dave, bro. Hey, Dave. Hey, if for those that don't know, and I don't know David like super personally, you know what I'm saying? But like Dave and me and Dave met like some years ago. Dave is a comedian, bro. Like Dave is a whole comedian. So yeah. Hey Dave, I'm gonna have to get you on a podcast episode, bro. I'm gonna have to get you on a podcast episode. I'm gonna hit you up.
Definitely. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Tomorrow night, we're life training class. I'll be in the building.
Dre is preaching
tomorrow night. Yeah,
I can sit back
at night now. You took my night job. So yeah, tomorrow night, I'll see y'all. Love y'all. This will be reposted. Y'all go check it out and send this to somebody. Shoot it to some people, man. Shoot it to some people.
See, they're talking about pay him, so now I gotta wait till I get rich to pay him.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wait till I got $1 million to pay Dave, so I can get him on the thing.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Later.